the Bond.
Okay, let's talk about the Batmobile that Matt Reeves just posted yesterday. Now, Fast and Furious jokes aside, I think this Batmobile is pretty dope. The first thing I thought about when I saw the Batmobile was the 1966 Batmobile because of the red and black, but also the animated series Batmobile. You know, you kind of smash both those Batmobiles together and you kind of get this one. And the Batmobile in the animated series is based off of muscle cars, so it makes sense why they went with a muscle car for Batman. And me and Proctor talked about this in our last podcast, that this Batman is a do-it-yourself Batman. You could tell by his bat suit that he's strapping bits of armor to himself. He's just trying to find the best armor for his suit. He's not worried about style. And the same thing kind of goes with this Batmobile. Batman has made his own Batmobile using one of the cars he owns, and he's put together his own Batmobile. And it makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people have very polarizing opinions about this Batmobile already. Some people love it, some people hate it, and a lot of people can't stop making Fast and Furious jokes about it. Which, you know, those jokes just get funnier and funnier.
Shut up!
Me, personally, I'm really liking this Batmobile. Because it feels like they are staying very true to Batman. Because in the comics and everything, Batman builds everything himself with just the help of Alfred. And of course, Christopher Nolan didn't like that idea when he was making his Dark Knight trilogy. That's why Batman in those movies pretty much buys everything. He buys the tumbler because the tumbler's already a tank. So he just buys it and paints it black. He's not really much of an engineer in those movies. But if you're aware of the comics and everything, you know Batman pretty much builds everything on his own. And that's what this car looks like. It looks like he took one of his own cars and made a bunch of improvements on it. You know, put some armor on it, souped up the engine, and he did it all himself and probably with the help of Alfred a little bit. And another thing I like about this car is that it is practical. This car will be able to move fast.
Because they wanted to go faster. I'm not fast enough.
Because if you know anything about the Batmobile that Zack Snyder used in BVS, that Batmobile only moves about 30 miles an hour. It's not that fast of a car. It's not built to go that fast. And this car looks like a straight up muscle car that's built for action sequences. So that means we're going to get Batmobile chases in camera that are going to look really fast. And I like that a lot. And it gets me very excited to see what kind of Batmobile chases we're going to get in this movie. Obviously, this is very early in Batman's career. This is probably year 1 or year 2 in Batman's career. So the Batmobile shouldn't be looking like this high-tech, perfect vehicle that Batman has spent decades building, right? It shouldn't look like that. It should look like just a car he has that he's souped up a little bit. That makes the most amount of sense. Much like the Batcycle, the Batbike, it's just a motorcycle with a little bat head on it. Like, that's essentially it. It's just a motorcycle. And his Batmobile is just a muscle car that's souped up. Like, that's it. And I really like that idea. It makes sense for a younger Batman. It makes sense that he hasn't perfected anything yet. He hasn't perfected his suit. He hasn't perfected his Batcycle. He hasn't perfected his car. He hasn't perfected his moral code. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're going to see Batman make a lot of mistakes in this movie. We're going to see, the Batmobile probably get in a wreck. And he's going to have to build an even better one in the next movie. And I feel like that's what this trilogy is going to be. It's going to be Batman evolving and learning. He's not going to be perfect right out of the gate. And I like that idea a lot. It gets me really excited about the movie. To know we are going to have practical chase sequences in camera. I mean, it's going to look awesome. And we're going to see all this stuff involved. We're going to see his Batsuit get better as the trilogy goes on. We're going to see all his gear and gadgets get better. We're going to see his vehicles get better. All this isn't going to stay the same. So, yeah, I'm excited. I like the look of it. Like, I would drive this car. It looks street legal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. Definitely reminds me of the animated series and the 1966 Batmobile smashed together. And I can't wait to see more. Comment below, let me know what you think of the Batmobile. Let us hear all your Fast and Furious jokes. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Time to go mobile.
Everybody up!